Hi everyone! Today I'm back as Cocoa Daisy's guest designer for May 2021 using the Tranquility memory keeping kits, and I'm making this interactive page here in my Life Crafted album to hold some tags for my plants. I'm not a big plant person, but I do have 4 plants that I am now taking care of at my house, and in order to try to not kill them, I have decided to record down like the different lighting conditions and watering conditions that each of my plants enjoys, so that hopefully this will help me make sure that my plants last a bit longer than they usually do. So as a guest designer for Cocoa Daisy, I did receive these kits for free, but I do subscribe to Cocoa Daisy on a regular basis outside of this one particular month. As you know, I am a big Cocoa Daisy fan, and I love using their products. To get started, I'm using this green pattern paper that came in one of the memory keeping kits, as well as this lovely vellum piece that has some green foiling on it with the leaves. This came in the planner classified kit. And I'm going to be creating a pocket on the bottom of my page to hold all of my tags. So I'm going to start off by adhering my pattern paper onto the back of the previous page in my Life Crafted album, which is my April Project Life page. I'll put a link to the process video that I have for that if you're interested. And here I'm just measuring about 3 inches from the top of my vellum page just to create the pocket to be about 3 inches tall. And then I'm going to be measuring the width of the page before where it hits the punched holes on the side of this page. And I'm going to be scoring 1/4 of an inch in on 3 of the 4 sides. And that way, when I fold those edges over, that'll create a nice pocket for me to put my tags in. To adhere my vellum onto this page, I'm going to be using some of this 1/8 inch score tape, just because I find that score tape is the most secure thing that I can use to make any of my interactive pages or pockets and things like that. So I'm just adhering my score tape between the score mark that I made and the edge of the paper on the 3 sides that I made those score marks. And you'll see that after I put my score tape on all 3 sides, I'm just cutting diagonally across where those 2 score lines intersect, just so that when I'm folding these flaps over to form the edge of the pocket, there's not too much overlap in the vellum, which will create bulk when I'm adhering this down to my base page. You'll notice that I have 4 craft tags to the left of my page here, and these tags are from a previous Cocoa Daisy kit. I think this was from the March kit, which was Treetop Canopy. And I just thought the earthiness of these craft tags would go really well with the spread about the plants. And I have here some rub-ons from the Cocoa Daisy memory keeping kits as well that I'm going to be using to decorate both my tags and my page. I've also printed out some photos of my plants. I just used the PicFrame app on my phone to fit 4 of them onto a 4x6 sized photo, and then that makes them about 2 inches by 3 inches each. And then I just used my printer to print out that photo as just a 4x6, and that makes it so that each of these photos can fit onto each of those 4 craft tags that I have. I've also done a bit of journaling on my computer in advance, so I just went into Microsoft Word and created some text boxes that were about 4¼ inches tall by 2¼ inches wide, which will fit nicely onto my craft tags. And I just looked up what the botanical name of each of my plants was, as well as like the light, soil, and water conditions that they prefer. And this information I just found on a website called thespruce.com. I'm not sure how reliable this information is, like how accurate it is, but we'll see. If one of my plants dies, I'm blaming the website. So for each of these tags, I'm going to be putting my picture of the plant on the front of the tag and then the corresponding information on the back of the tag. And because the picture is a bit small compared to the size of that tag, I'm going to be decorating the front a bit just with some washi tape here. So between the memory keeping kits as well as the planner kits that I subscribe to, in addition to the May 2017 Cocoa Daisy washi tape that we got way back when they first did this plant theme, I have enough different green washi tapes to cover the bottoms of all 4 of these tags with different washi tapes each. And so I'm just using a strip of each of those washi tapes on the bottom of these tags, making sure they're approximately the same distance from the bottom for each of those tags, and then just wrapping them around the tag so that the front of the tag will have most of the washi tape and the back will just have a tiny bit peeking out from the edges behind the journaling that I have. So this last one that I have here with the Moroccan tile pattern is from the May 2017 kit, and I am really surprised and impressed that it's still sticky, it still peels, like it's not all stuck together and all gluey. So props to Cocoa Daisy for having washi tape that can last for, what is it now, 4 years without being affected in quality. Next, I'm just going through the rub-on sets and choosing one rub-on plant for each of these tags that most closely resembles the plant that I have in the picture. Now, I'm not a plant person by any means, so some of these plants, like I'm sure they're not even remotely related to the plant that I have, but I just wanted it to kind of match as closely as possible. And I love the way that the plant rub-ons look against the craft tags that I have. Next, I'm going to be using the stamp set that we got from the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit with all these plants and pots. And I'm going to be stamping out the corresponding plant, at least something that looks similar to the plant that I have, onto that journaling card there. And I'm using these light colors from Altenew. The green one that I use for all of the plant tops is Firefly, and the other ones that I have there are Minty Mint for the green, Sea Glass for the blue, Soft Lilac for the purple, and Blush for the pink, and that matches the tones of the pots that I have for each plant. The pothos plant, I do have to change out the pot at some point in time. I just haven't painted that one particular pot yet, so that's still in the process. And I love this stamp set because it lets you pick your different pot design as well as the different plants that you want for the top. And you can kind of mix and match to create your own combinations of different types of plants and pots. But because my pots are all an ombre color, I just stuck with the same pot that's striped. And I thought that would be best representative of the types of plants and pots I have. After I finish attaching the pictures of each plant to the front of the tag and the stats to the backs of the tags, I just use some twine just to finish up the top of each tag, and it kind of gives a bit more texture to the page when I'm done. Just a note about the rub-ons as well while I'm finishing up the rest of these tags. So you'll notice that I'm just trimming off the image that I want from each of the rub-on sheets as I'm using them. So it's really hard to use the whole sheet. Like, you don't want to be putting your whole sheet onto the page and then just trying to rub on one of the images. You definitely want to try to trim out the image that you want and apply those individually, just because if you try to use the whole page, you might get some of the other designs onto your page that you don't want. And Cocoa Daisy does have some good videos on how to use their rub-ons as well, so I can definitely link one of their videos down in the comments below if you are interested. Now that those tags are all done, I'm working on decorating my bottom pocket there. And I have a couple of pieces from the classified memory keeping kit, and that's the green ribbon that you see there, as well as the chalkboard type label adhesive die cut piece. And the acrylic word that says grow is from the modern memory keeping kit. So I'm just ruffling up the ends of the ribbon a bit here just to create a bit more texture. The ribbon actually reminds me a bit of seam binding, which I used to use in some of my projects and kind of like dye them myself using inks. So if you're interested in watching a process video on that, I can definitely show that as well. Just comment below if you're interested. I'm using some score tape to adhere the ribbon down to my vellum. Typically, I would use some liquid adhesive. However, I find that liquid adhesives typically will warp vellum if you have it on there. So I decided to use score tape in this situation just in case. And I'm just using the 1/8 inch score tape to adhere down that acrylic word, just because I'm not sure if normal tape runner adhesive will be strong enough to support the weight of that acrylic word there. Next, I'm just picking out some more rub-ons to decorate the top part of this page, just to create a bit of a border there. And I did add some glitter enamel dots onto that vellum pocket off screen once I finished this video. And that pretty much finishes up my page. I hope you enjoyed that process video, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked this video, and be sure to subscribe for notifications for my future videos as well. I have 2 more projects to share as Cocoa Daisy's guest designer for May 2021, and one of them is a big project, so you don't want to miss that. Thanks for watching!